I hope tonight you can find out who you should apologize to and who you should say goodbye to. A Deadly Invitation is a Netflix original and is a Spanish murder mystery with a woman named Agatha who has a podcast and she solves mysteries that are unsolvable along with her partner, and she is invited to Olivia's house. Olivia is somebody she knows quite well, and then suddenly Olivia turns up dead, and along with everybody else, including a lieutenant that is just in over his head, Agatha must solve these mysteries, if you'll see what I did there, before everybody's life is history. A Deadly Invitation Tales. Woohoo! So, yeah, basically, this is like any other murder mystery, kind of like with a little dash of murder by death, a lot of glass onion and knives out mystery as far as the setting and everything, but it's a nice, tight, 90-minute movie that has a halfway decent amount of comedy, a little bit of intrigue, even though it's kind of obvious who actually is involved from within the first like 20 or so minutes. But it's decent. It's not really that offensive. I mean, even if it treads a lot of familiar ground. And I do want to say that the casting is pretty good. I've seen a couple of these actresses in other movies, but you know, everything's jumbled together. This is the 242nd movie I have seen released from this year, because what else would I be doing during any waking moment of my life? And it is based on a novel, obviously. Why wouldn't it be based on a novel? Everything's based on a goddamn novel these days. It was written by two different people, and also it was directed by a person who's done a few other projects. Check out the respective IMDb pages for the full listings of their work. If you notice, I really didn't say their names just because I didn't want to disrespect them by mispronouncing. But I do want to say Olivia Maribel Verdú is a popular Hispanic actress who I have seen in other stuff and looks really, really good for being almost in her mid-50s. Actually looks like she's around, like, you know, maybe her early to mid-30s. The one that plays Agatha, Regina Blandon, fuck, she's cute. She's really cute. She has a nice bubbly personality and is all ready to make sure that she uses her ingenuity and understand, along with her partner, yes, a woman, oh no, the sky is falling, two women are together, whatever will we do? If you're going to be homophobic, get the fuck off my goddamn channel and go get some education. And various other people populate this. It's not a big casted movie. It does give just enough background on these particular characters, and while nobody has a serious amount of depth, there's enough that you can care about these characters, enough to advance the plot. However, it is. It's just above average overall. It's not incredibly offensive, or offensive really at all, even if it gets a few factual things about India wrong, as far as one particular character. When you see it, you'll understand. And again, it's obvious who's in on this whole thing. It all goes back to the loss of a child and how that can affect people going forward, and how, you know, nobody really, whether you adopt a child, whether the child is a blood, you know, relative, if you raise a child and they suddenly pass away, it would obviously affect you greatly. So it is on Netflix if you want to check it out. A Deadly Invitation is fine. It's fine for what it is. It's not a film that's going to be memorable for, you know, really anything beyond maybe the 90 minutes you're going to watch it. You'll probably forget a lot of details within a couple hours after it's over. But it's definitely not one of the worst goddamn things that's apparently over here as far as Netflix originals. Trust me, I've seen a lot worse than this. So, anyway, let's get into spoilers. 3, 2, 1, and spoilers. Okay, so Agatha's solving mysteries. Yes, Agatha mystery. Yes, do you get it? Do you get the stuff they're hammering into your head? So Olivia's her sister. Well, half-sister, but still, they grew up together, even though there was a bit of an age difference. And the murder by death similarities are there just without the comedy. I mean, there was kind of a funny moment with the captain that was a little bit humorous. He drew a middle finger, and when a guy asked him to draw up his salary and just add a 0, and he's like, "You're not going to buy me off." The lieutenant guy is fine. He's fine. There's some pretty girls in it, including one named Sonia, Stephanie Kao, who, oh boy, she looks good. And from there, there's like, you know, a little bit of hidden stuff, like there's this hidden tunnel between two rooms, and all this stuff is discovered. But Olivia brought them all onto this yacht. And there was a reason why she brought them there, because they are going to solve her murder, because she ends up dead on this boat. So you're thinking, we're going to get death on the Nile. And then, no, they can't afford a death on the Nile. They can barely afford to stay on the ocean. And conveniently, this is at a spot in the ocean where two particular districts might be, fighting over who will get to solve this particular murder mystery and get the credit for it. Also, there is a half-blind guy named Gustavo. It turns out actually he's not half-blind, by the way, as if you couldn't have figured that out just looking at the guy. After Olivia turns up dead, everybody's trying to figure out what's going on. There's her ex, Carlos, who, her and his relationship really dissolved because of a girl named Alicia, who is somebody that they ended up adopting because, well, let's just say the mother, and, she was an orphan. The mother died, and that's why all this stuff happened. Carlos is a popular and very, very well-respected and very rich doctor. There's a guy named Figueroa, for long, who is also a doctor and also tends to Olivia's needs. Gustavo's devoted to, Carlos, who took him in after that accident, took out his eye, and Olivia's been very good to him as well, and Agatha tries to solve what in the world is going on. Then a guy gets shot. Another guy, who the hell would be doing that? There's also somebody that works with Carlos and Olivia, and her name is Christina. It turns out that she actually is responsible for all this, but she's not the only one responsible for that. Who else? Well, it turns out it's also Carlos, because this whole thing goes back to Alicia and this guy Naram, who is the one that they got the stuff wrong about Indian culture. Just want to say a little bit. Read up on it. You'll understand what I'm talking about. And this is after a bunch of interrogations and everything, and it turns out that it was this Christina. This is after also a callback, or a call between Agatha and her partner, and then another one discovering all this stuff. The cell tower was out conveniently, and that turned out to be by design, so they could use their ingenuity. Olivia thought of everything, and she knew what was responsible, because basically, Christina told this young woman, who ended up ending her life because she lost her kid. It's actually the other way around. The kid got taken from her. Her kid didn't die in childbirth. That was Elisa, who was given to somebody that couldn't give birth, and that was Olivia. Olivia, couldn't give birth. All this terrible stuff's going on. And then this guy, or this girl, teenage mother, ended up, unfortunately, taking her own life, which is never the answer. Just want to say right there, no blame. Never the answer. Help is out there. But postpartum depression. And Carlos, became this well-respected doctor, gynecologist, and also was finding a way to get rich people kids. Why? Why the hell not? Olivia also said, well, hey, Figueroa, you can take this money after a botched surgery, and you can open up a clinic that will help women that went through this particular situation. All this stuff. It's kind of a lot that was spilled out, actually, now that I think about it. They threw a lot of stuff at the screen in the last 20 or so minutes, and with all this explanation. He did that, but he was also brought onto the yacht because he was tending to Olivia's needs, like the fact that the reason that she ended up dead is because she had cancer. He gave her a lot of morphine. She fell off, and her neck was broken. She wanted to go painlessly, but she also wanted to reveal all the stuff about these terrible people she had interacted with. And from there, we just get that, and that's where Figueroa's character comes in. And nobody's going to get blamed. Agatha was happy knowing that at least her sister went painlessly. And everybody was fine except for Carlos and Christina, who tried to escape onto the yacht. And the yacht was in the middle of, or in the water, I don't know, about 100 feet away. But also there was a convenient explosive place, because that's what Olivia had Gustavo do, blow up the phone tower. And also place one more explosive on the yacht in case they tried to escape, and they did. And then it was comedy from there, I guess. Funny. It gets a C+. It's not bad. A Deadly Invitation is what it is. It isn't something that's going to stick in your mind for too long. But it's not offensive. I mean, I've seen a few reviews that are just like, downright scathing, and I'm like, my God, I have seen so much worse than this. So yeah, C+. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Replin. I'll see you soon.